There are many ways to do a quick stop man overboard recovery. The common theme is to turn the boat immediately to slow down and stay near the victim. Once the boat gets more than a handful of boat lengths away from the victim, it is hard to see him or her in the water. The first to see the person fall in yells, "Man overboard!" and then points at the victim with an outstretched arm. This person becomes the spotter, who will do nothing but point at the victim while calling out the bearing and distance to the MOB. As soon as "Man overboard" is shouted, several things happen simultaneously. The helmsman tacks the boat, another person hits the "Man overboard" button on the GPS, while a third person throws flotation into the water. Don't bother uncleaning the Genoa during the tack and takedown, because backwinding the Genoa helps turn the boat sharper and ensures that the foot of the jib will fall on the deck when dropped. In the video, the crew wastes time by tacking the jib. Notice the life sling being deployed as the boat tacks. The boat turns a little too wide, getting further away from the victim than necessary. The farther away you sail, the longer the person will be in the water. I know of 2 different instances when jib trimmers slipped overboard during races and fast-acting helmsmen spun their boats to pick up their soggy sail trimmers in less than a minute. Once the boat can turn and approach the victim on a beam reach, jibe and make the final approach. On a beam reach, a boat's speed can be controlled by luffing or sheeting the main. If the boat stops short, just sheet in and get going again. There won't be a need to make another approach. When using the life sling, it is not critical to be stopped right next to the person in the water. As the boat sails by the victim, tack again so that the tow line comes toward the person. Don't make the person in the water swim, as the video shows. Waterlogged clothes prevent the victim from swimming very far or very fast. Once the MOB gets a hold of the floating line, someone can pull him in. Boats with swim platforms offer an easy place to recover a victim, but the transom is only a viable option in flat water. Using the transom to recover someone can be lethal in waves, since the boat can come crashing down on the person in the water. The second recovery video shows the quick stop using a figure-8 recovery. While this method can take longer than a tight circle, it avoids having to jibe. Just as the circle method, the boat tacks as soon as the person falls overboard. Then the boat sails to leeward as the crew prepares to take the jib down. For the takedown, the boat heads up into the wind to slow down to ensure that the sail comes down on the deck. Once the jib is down, the boat tacks and bears off almost dead downwind. The boat does not turn toward the person in the water until it can approach on a beam reach. Just as in the first video scene, coming in on a beam reach allows the best control of the boat at slow speeds. To slow down, the main is let out to the shrouds, and to speed up a little, trim the main slightly. If you stop short, you can trim in to get going again. Getting the victim back on deck can be the most difficult part of the process. Pulling someone out of the water over the topsides is not easy without a ladder or employing some sort of lifting contraption like a halyard or a block and tackle. Racing crews have the advantage of plenty of strong arms to help lift. Also remember that studies show that it is best to make the rescue over the leeward side so that the boat will not drift away from the victim. Yet even this crew of strong midshipmen from the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy strained to pull the victim aboard. Making things easier for them is the fact that the swimmer is wearing a survival suit, which means his clothing hasn't gained a lot of water weight. Notice how there are loops of line draped over the side of the boat so that the victim has many chances to grab hold of the boat. This is very important. Future video clips will show different methods to help short-handed crews bring back aboard man